It's another win for the ACU football team as they head into their final regular season game. I'm Max Preston.
And I'm Grant Boone. That's 4 wins in a row now. We'll preview the game against Central Arkansas later today and look back at the big win over Sam Houston State last week. It's the Adam Dorrel Show right now. Welcome into the final episode of the Adam Dorrel Show this season from the JMC Network studios on the campus of Abilene Christian University. I'm Grant Boone, alongside ACU journalism major Max Preston and the head football coach at ACU, Adam Dorrel. The streak continues after a 17-10 victory on the road at Sam Houston State. The ACU football team has now won 4 straight games heading into this afternoon's regular season finale against Central Arkansas. Coach, you've told us the last 2 weeks on the show you haven't paid attention to the standings, any kind of postseason possibilities. Now you're a win away from 7-4. There is still a chance at an at-large playoff berth. Are you thinking about that at all?
Not a lot, Grant. We met Sunday and talked as a team, and we just have really tried to put the onus on controlling the things that we can control. We can't control that. And I think more importantly, I just feel like we have 10 seniors that really deserve for our whole organization to be focused on them and try to send them out on the right way. So, no, we literally haven't talked about it at all.
Leave it to us.
Yes.
Yeah, so you mentioned the seniors. It's their last game today. Just your thoughts on this graduating class as they head towards their final game.
Well, yeah, I've been very proud of them. They're a group that since we've gotten here as a coaching staff have done everything we've asked them to do. There's some new guys in there, some transfers, but it's just I'm very proud of them and what they stand for. I think their work ethic has been really good. They've just believed in us. They've gotten behind us. They've really been a driving force this year in our success. And there's just they're having a lot of fun. I think they're bringing a professionalism to the locker room, but they're also having fun, and I think that really ignites our young guys. And the thing for me, we talk a lot about legacy in our program, and we've really challenged them. What do you want your legacy to be? And they've left a very strong legacy, and I'm proud of them for that.
We'll have a couple of those seniors in studio a little bit later on in the show, and we'll preview today's game against Central Arkansas later on. But when we come back, highlights and Coach Dorrel's analysis from yet another white-knuckle victory, ACU over Sam Houston State. We'll have that when we come back to the Adam Dorrel Show. Welcome back to the Adam Dorrel Show. Last Saturday in Huntsville, Texas, ACU put its 3-game winning streak on the line against the Southland's preeminent power, Sam Houston State, 7 straight years in the national quarterfinals. Well, with both teams missing their most dynamic offensive weapons, defense ruled the day, and the Wildcats were just that much better, especially when backed up to their own goal line. ACU earned a hard-fought 17-10 victory over the Bearcats, the first victory over Sam since rejoining the Southland Conference 4 years ago. Coach, you took control of the game early. They get the ball first. Yeah. They drive to inside your 40. They go for it on 4th down. You get a stop. And how do you respond? Offensively, your longest drive of the season. 16 plays, capped off with a touchdown run by Tracy James. You couldn't have scripted much better of a start, could you?
No, we didn't. I just proud of our offense. It was probably the best drive or one of the best drives of the day. They went out there. I thought we executed in short yardage situations.
2nd and goal. Hand off to James running left. He's in the end zone. Touchdown, Tracy James.
I just really thought it got our energy going. Like I said,
touchdown.
The thing that was really cool is, man, our guys believed that we could go down there and win, and I think that first series really helped us.
So, Coach, back-to-back drives on defense. You get a sack from Piccone to force a punt. Then you get a strip sack by Burgess, and Hill recovers. Yeah. In the first 5 games of the season, your defense has 9 sacks. The last 5, 23 sacks, mainly by the front 4. What's changed from the first 5 to the last 5?
Well, I think there's a couple things. I think our coaches are doing a really good job of getting those guys matched up and getting them in a position to be successful. I think those guys are doing a really good job. To me, D-lines, good D-lines, they know how to rush together. They're not just an individual, hey, I'm rushing over here. They know how to push the pocket together. I think our inside guys are doing a really good job of when the quarterback's taking off, they're there to gobble him up and get him down on the ground and not let him scramble. Yeah. So I think it's kind of been a refocus from the beginning of the year to the end of the year of being a complete defense, rushing the passer together, and then bottom line, just finishing and getting home. I mean, I go back to those first few games of the year, it was just like we were so close, but they weren't finishing and they weren't getting him down. And here towards the end, man, they're finishing those rushes and they're getting home.
And it's all 11 guys, too.
Absolutely.
As you say all the time, they couldn't get to the quarterback if the secondary wasn't covering.
Exactly.
So second quarter's big. You're up 7-0. They've got it inside the red zone. Third down, sacked from Jack Gibbons, forces a field goal attempt. Now it's 7-3. They then drive inside your 10-yard line. Late first half, they've got a terrific field goal kicker in Trey Honstein, a veteran kicker for them. They opt to go for it on fourth down, and you get a big stop on 4th down and 3 from the 7-yard line. Just looking at that particular stop, Bolu Wanafade, on a 4th down and 3, they go trick play. They open up the swinging gate. They've got people lined up everywhere, and he slams that gate shut with a hit that we'll be thinking about for a long time.
Yeah, and again, I go back, our guys all year, they haven't panicked on 4th down, and it's easier said than done because, you know, as a defense, you program your defensive players to, hey, you got to be great on 3 downs and get off the field and they'll punt. And, you know, we've had a lot of those crucial 4th down situations this year, and to come out and then be in the swinging gate, which they had done. But, again, our guys have to execute. I looked at Coach Jack, and they just we knew we were in good, had the ball leverage, and they felt good about where we were lined up. And
takes discipline, though, doesn't it?
Absolutely, it does. I mean, it does with the coaches. It starts with the coaches getting the calls in, and the players not panicking, and then they got to go out and execute and trust their eyes, and they certainly did that.
So in the second half, Ty Brock gets an 88-yard touchdown to Nathan Stewart. You come back with a 12-play, 75-yard drive, though, capped off with a pass from Luke to Cody Ennis for a touchdown. So to get the lead back is great, but did you gain the momentum back in that point?
I do. I think so. And I think, again, you know, we don't feel like we played our best offensively that day, but that's all right because I felt like there's a couple really big drives. I felt like that one was huge. The start of the game was huge. I thought we answered, and again, I think it got our confidence back up. And then at the end, you know, when we I think we went like 98, 97 yards. Now, we didn't score, but we got out to the 50-yard line and punted and flipped the field. So, yeah, I just think that really helped gain our confidence back. And our guys just, again, I didn't just sense that towards the end, man. I sensed it, you know, on the way down. I sensed it in the hotel Friday. I sensed it Saturday in warm-ups. Man, our guys believed that they could win, and that's a testament to our seniors.
On that drive when you took the lead back, capped by the touchdown throw from Luke to Cody, Samaje Davis had 2 of his 9 runs. He got 28 of his 91 yards. It was, I thought, a great game plan by Josh Lamberson, your offensive coordinator, with Billy McCrary out of the game, unable to go. Samaje has been a guy that you loved, and you were envisioning using him a lot like this, weren't you, when the season started? We saw Cade Munden a few years ago against Central Arkansas rush for 100 yards as a backup quarterback. To the naked eye, when you see the Wildcat, it doesn't necessarily look exotic. Why does it work when it's run well?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I think ours works really well because the dude we got can throw the ball. You know, he is. And I think anybody that has seen him on film a little bit this year and watches him in warm-up, Samaje has a really good arm. And, you know, we had a couple RPOs in there, and they covered him. There was one time we motioned out, and they covered the tight end because we were trying to throw the football to him. But we've got a lot of confidence in him right now. I'm proud of him. You know, he was doing a lot of great things early in fall camp, sustained an injury, and it's just been kind of slow getting him back to full speed. And like you and I have talked about, Grant, we go from, you know, really struggling last year on who was going to, you know, rush the football for us compared to, man, we've got just, you know, a plethora of guys this year. You know, we believe in all 3 of those running backs, and we believe in Samaje and feel like he can do it as well. And so we're going to continue to get him involved, and we just feel like he can help us.
So towards the end of the third quarter, Sam Houston brings the ball down. They get 1st and goal at the 4-yard line. You know what happens next? Take us through the sequence where you stop them on 4th and goal at the 2-yard line.
Well, again, I think that's just kind of been the make of our defense the whole year. I think you go back to the Nicholls State game and playing against another, you know, quality opponent, top 10 opponent, and our guys, again, it's looking very bleak at the time, but our guys
to go with the 4.
I know,
almost everybody scores.
Exactly, and they don't panic. And again, I think that has a lot to do with our coaching staff. I think they install a great discipline in our team, and you know, we play a lot of man coverage down there. If you're going to play man coverage, you have to have good eye discipline. And again, I think we're doing a really good job of running our bear package and trying to stop the run, and that's a testament to our D line. They're playing their gaps and they're not getting double teamed out of them, and so it's nerve-wracking, I won't lie, but to finish it off like that, it's a huge deal. And I think as you get to third down, it's just like, we all kind of sensed that they were going to go for it on fourth down. And to see our guys hold, man, that's a big deal. And our confidence level just, again, that really just propels us the whole game.
One of the reasons they went for it is they're thinking, even if we don't get it, they're at their own 2. What do? You drive it out from your 2 with runs and passes. It's a great combo. You get the Oscar Hernandez 41-yard field goal to cap off from your own 2 to 3 points. You go up 17-10. You finish the game with the Jack Gibbons interception that put it away. And he didn't quite fully put it away. You had to get one more first down. And to get the first down when you and Sam both knew what you were going to do, that had to be remarkable.
Yeah, that drive when we flipped the field was huge. And then Oscar's field goal, I'm so proud of Oscar and what he's done this year, Grant. If you look at him, and he's one of the top field goal kickers in the conference, And
he missed 2.
Absolutely. And we were about 4 to 5 yards more than we wanted to be with him because of the way the wind was.
Yep.
But we have so much confidence in him. We knew he was going to give that ball a chance, and he drilled it. And so just a big Jack's pick. And then, like I said to you before, that we could even say anything to our offense about we have to go out and get a first down. Our guys were talking about it on the sideline. We went out and got a huge run, 8 yards, and then capped it off. They used their last time out, and then we got a first down. And the best formation in football, that victory formation,
so
man, it looks great, doesn't it?
Hadn't had a victory formation against Sam since 1983. He didn't play him for 30 years, but hadn't beaten him since we come back in. It was a great win. Congratulations to you and your team. So, 4 straight wins now for ACU. They have beaten 2 of the Southland's playoff teams from last season, Nichols and Sam. They'll try to make it a clean sweep when they take on defending champion Central Arkansas this afternoon. We'll preview that game in a bit, but as we go to break, take a look at last week's scores from around the Southland Conference. Note Incarnate Word's win at UCA, which clinched for the Cardinals, no worse than a share of the conference title. We'll have more of the Adam Dorrel Show in a moment. Welcome back to the Adam Dorrel Show with a look at what's happening around the rest of the ACU sports world. Here's Max.
Thanks, Grant. The soccer team concluded its historic season with a 2-0 loss to Baylor in the first round of the NCAA tournament. Rachel Johnson was busy in the game as she made 11 saves out of 13 shots on goal by the Bears. The Wildcats had 2 shots in the game, one from Shea Johnson and the other from Christina Artega. ACU's season record ended at 15-6-1 overall and 7-3-1 in conference. Volleyball hosted Sam Houston State Saturday for its last regular season game and lost 3-1. JC Smith had 15 kills in the match and Lauren Walker had 13. Also, Kendall Bossy passed for 39 assists. ACU also held senior day before the match and honored Smith, Walker, Bossy, Makai Brown, Amanda Chappa, and Lily Driver. The Wildcats will now head into the Southland postseason tournament as a 4 seed. They were scheduled to face Houston Baptist Friday afternoon. We'll stay in Moody as the men's basketball team welcomed Arkansas State Friday for its second game of the season and won 94-73. Jalen Franklin led the way in scoring for the Wildcats with 24 points and added 6 assists and 2 steals. Jaron Lewis put up 18 points in the game and grabbed 15 rebounds. He was named Southland Conference Player of the Week for his efforts against Arlington Baptist and the Red Wolves. The men were scheduled to face the University of Denver on the road Thursday evening. The women's team opened its season Friday against Southwest College and won 90-47. Brianna Wright led her team with 24 points and also added 5 rebounds, 3 assists, and 2 steals. Sarah Williamson was also a key player in the game with 14 points, 5 assists, 4 rebounds, and 3 steals. The women were scheduled to remain at home Thursday and face Howard Payne. This Saturday is not only the last regular season game for the football team, but it's also the last for 10 different seniors. We invited 2 of them, Cody Ennis and Dante Hibbert, to come talk with us in the studio. Marlo Davis has the pleasure to talk with each of them. Marlo?
Thanks, Max. In the studio today, we have senior defensive tackle Dante Hibbert and senior tight end Cody Ennis. Thank you guys for coming in today. Let's talk a little bit about the season as a whole. Right now, you're 6-4, 5-3 in conference with a 4-game winning streak. Now, this time last season, you were 2-10, 8th in the conference. There's obviously been a shift since last year. Can you guys tell me a little bit about that shift?
When the new coaches came in, they set a standard on offense and defense, but mainly Coach Dorrel set a standard in the classroom and around in Abilene, and just changing the culture of what we do and how we do things. I felt like before that it was just more all about football, and we didn't know that, honestly, being in a college town, being the biggest college in the Abilene, we had to do more than just play football. So I think the little things of off the field had a lot to do with on the field, and going to on the field, it was mainly being with our brothers and knowing that we're a family, and it was just way different from last year.
Right. So you two have both been with the team for a while now. You both played in Shotwell. You both have transitioned to Anthony Field at Wildcat Stadium. You both played under different coaches. What are some of the best memories that you guys remember from playing football for the Wildcats?
One of my favorite parts was just traveling to away games, just hanging out with the guys in the hotel room before the games, just messing around. And also, I'm really thankful that we got a chance to play in this new stadium. That's been a big help. Just around the Abilene community, just people coming out to games, and just made a lot of memories there.
Now, Cody, you came to ACU as a quarterback your freshman year, and you even threw some touchdown passes your sophomore year. Now, as a senior tight end, what has that transition been like for you?
It's been a fun one. I never thought I'd be playing tight end my senior year, but it's been fun. Just one of the main things I really had to focus and hone in on was my blocking. I knew that would get me on the field more and faster. So that's one of the things me and Coach Dorrel talk about all the time, is just blocking technique, and I think that's really helped me out in my transition.
Awesome. Now, Dante, you were born in the Bronx, New York, right?
Ma'am.
And you were born to Jamaican parents. So you've done your fair share of traveling throughout your life. What was your journey like to Abilene, let alone ACU?
Well, I mean, being from New York, when I moved to Georgia as young, so I was raised in Georgia, so that's traveling even more. Coming to Texas, that's something I've always wanted to do because of football. I mean, everybody talks about football in Texas, so I really just wanted to see it. And taking a visit here was great. The campus showed me, the people in the community showed me, and it was just great to see that everybody cared about football so much and cared about sports and really cared about your education. So it was an easy transition moving. I was adopted, so I moved family as well.
Right.
So coming here and getting introduced into a new family wasn't new for me.
Gotcha.
So it was an easier transition coming into this family and being in Abilene. It was kind of easy transition. I just wanted to play football.
Well, we're glad. Now, boys, both of you are seniors. What are your majors, plans after college, plans after football? Dante, we'll start with you.
Well, I graduated with my communication degree.
Okay.
I'm doing my grad school in organization development right now. After football, I will be training, try to go to the NFL. And after that, I would love to coach. I'm a big basketball guy. I know a lot about basketball. That's surprising I'm so big. But I used to be small. I want to coach basketball. I would love to coach football as well, but as of now, I want to coach basketball and relay my story to young guys and just push them forward and know that there's light at the end of the tunnel.
And Cody?
I'm an engineering major, so I'll graduate next semester in May, and I'll probably just start applying for jobs pretty soon here. If I could stay involved in football somehow, whether it be coaching or a GA spot, I'd really love to do that.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys for coming in today. When we come back to the show, we'll have Max and Grant preview the game with Coach Adam Dorrel. Don't go anywhere. It's the Adam Dorrel Show.
Welcome back to the Adam Dorrel Show, and take a look at the Southland Conference standings. You'll see that Nichols, by virtue of their win Thursday night over Southeastern Louisiana, has essentially tied Incarnate Word, which is only playing 8 conference games. You see there, they've finished at 6-2. Now Nichols at 7-2 is declared the co-champions with Incarnate Word, but because Nichols beat UIW in the regular season, Nichols will get the Southland Conference automatic bid to the FCS playoffs. Congratulations to both the Colonels and the Cardinals. Now taking a look at today's schedule in the Southland Conference, one other game of note, 2 6-4 teams, McNeese and Lamar. The winner, like ACU, if the Wildcats win today, will have a chance to get an at-large spot in the FCS playoffs. But the only game that matters to Wildcat fans, today's regular season finale against Central Arkansas. The defending conference champs have played the last 6 weeks without their top 2 quarterbacks, both of whom went down in an overtime loss at Sam Houston State. Yet there they were, tied for first place at 5-1 just a couple of weeks ago with home games against Lamar and Incarnate Word. They lost both by double digits, and so now the Bears are playing for pride and to try to spoil what will be the final home game for, as Coach Dorrel said earlier, 10 ACU seniors. Coach, you look at UCA's roster, even with the injuries, it is littered with guys that went 9-0 last year and won the conference. They've been to the playoffs. the last 2 years. What impresses you about the Bears?
Well, they're a good ball club. I think their physicality on their offensive and defensive line, I think, really stands out. If you look at their offense, they've got 2 really good running backs and a couple of receivers, different, diverse slot guy, and then a big, tall guy outside that's rangy, that runs really good routes down the field and goes up and gets those jump balls, those 50-50 balls. So they're just, again, like you said, they got a lot of experience from last year's team, and they're playing really hard. And I know they've had some, mistakes this year, turnovers, but it's a really good team.
So offensively, I'd say Carlos Blackman's probably their best player. He's a good running back.
Yep.
He's rushed for 701 yards and 9 touchdowns, the second most in the Southland Conference for running backs. Do you find yourself game planning for him, and what else do you game plan for on the offense?
Yeah, I think so, absolutely. I think he's got a very good skill set. He's got good speed when he gets out and going, but he also does a good job running inside the tackles. He's a bigger kid breaking tackles, and so absolutely. I mean, for us and what we do every week, we want to try to line up and stop the run and try to make somebody one-dimensional, and we're certainly going to try to do that again this week. It's going to be hard. They do a good job playing with tight ends and fullbacks, and they try to find ways to get him up and through there to get him his yardage. But, we're confident in our guys and what they're doing right now. We just got to line up and hold a point and take on double teams and not get pushed around.
When they protect the football, they're tough to beat, aren't
Absolutely, very tough to beat. Yeah, it's a good team when they do that, when they're not making, just across the board right now in the Southland Conference. If you go back and you look at the games, it doesn't matter if it's us or somebody else. I mean, it's the teams with the even turnover margin or plus turnover margin are the teams winning on Saturdays right now. And so it's all of us, I think, are tough to beat when we don't turn the ball over.
Yeah. One last thought here, Coach. You mentioned final game for the 10 seniors. We heard from a couple of them earlier in the show. Chance at a 5-game winning streak. Chance for the most wins that ASU's had in the Division I era. 7 if you win this game later on today. If you've ever needed a big crowd, it would be later today at Wildcat Stadium.
Yeah, absolutely would. We're really we've taken to social media, trying to get folks to the game, and just, it's like I told our organization Sunday. It's like our senior, they've earned that. Yeah. They deserve to go out on a good note. I've really challenged everybody involved with us just to be really focused, really locked in, to give those guys the best. I'm very proud of them and what they stand for. I think they would tell you since we've gotten here, it hadn't always been easy. Yeah. I'm very proud of them. They've stood with us through tough times. They believed in me as a head coach. They believed in our coaching staff. And, I said this to some colleagues a couple of days ago, just talking on the phone. I can sit here and preach all I want about, the process and being great in the classroom. But at some point in time, you have to, I think, to really get that home as a head coach, you have to have some success. And I feel great because I feel like those 10 seniors have given me a soundboard to the rest of our program to see it works. And I'm proud of them because, man, it wouldn't have worked if they wouldn't have bought in. And I'm really happy for them, and we want to finish this thing off the right way.
Congrats on a great season. Thanks for all you do for this show. It's been a great season. Our new set here, it's been terrific. And I really want to thank the entire crew. And I hope that as you see the credits roll here at the end of the show, that if you've seen our show at all this year, that you'll take a moment just to note the names. The 3 of us are on camera, but there are so many people who put this show on. We want to thank them. It should be a great crowd today. Senior Day, a chance for ACU to win a 5th straight. Kickoff is at 2 o'clock. Pregame show on radio at 1:30. And the ACU TV studio, this team will produce the game. You can watch it on ESPN Plus, which you can access on the ESPN app. For Max, for Coach Dorrel, and for our entire crew, I'm Grant Boone. Thanks for watching the Adam Dorrel Show all season. We will see you next season. Enjoy the game today.